Hi, welcome to Toronto Real Estate with Riyaz Rauf. Thank you very much for all the feedback, engagement, and the comments that you sent me, which has inspired me to do another program for the month of August 2020. So today, I'm going to speak to you about three things. One, how the market performed in the month of August compared to August of last year. That's A. Second, where we are now and where we would be moving by next year this time. That's second. And the third thing is, what sort of a dilemma would the first-time home buyers are facing at this point in time? And specifically, I will explain to you what this egg got to do along with me. Now let's look at how we performed in the month of August 2019. The prices went up by 20.1%. That's the average price going up by 20.1% year over year for the month of August. And the number of volume, the number of houses that got sold went up by 40.3%. That's a staggering 40% increase in the number of houses that got sold in the month of August. Now, look at the price that went up. The average price now is $951,000. The next sheet will show you how the categories worked out during this period. The detached home prices went up by 99.9%, and the present day value is $1,172,000 for a detached home. A semi-detached home appreciated by 18%, and the value is $905,700. Now, townhomes appreciated by 16%, which is $742,000 today's value. Condos grew by appreciated by 9.5%, which brings it to the average price of $629,000. Now, these are statistics that are being published by the Real Estate Board of Toronto, and I am sure every realtor has it, and the people who knows are distributing it. You can read it in the media. And now let me try to explain the figures, the meaning behind these figures and what it really means to you. Let's look at the story behind the figures. Now, the average price of a home in Toronto was $792,000 last year this time. And today, the value has appreciated to $951,000. That's a staggering $159,000 appreciation in 1 year, or over a period of 12 months. Let's divide it by 12, which gives you $13,250 per month for the last 12 months. Now, ladies and gentlemen and friends, let's look at this. When you buy your primary home at an average price of $721,000, you made $13,250 a month for the past 12 months. And that is tax-free money when you're sleeping. And for a household to earn $159,000 a year, they may need to make more than $200,000 before tax to bring in this revenue for their family. This is the wealth building power of Toronto real estate, and this is what I'm going to take you through in the next step. Let's look at this. When you bought this house last year for $792,000, most likely you would have put a 20% down payment. Some people do it with 10%, but let's assume that you put 20% down payment, and that would have been $158,000 as down payment. And your revenue alone, or the profit that you're making in the first year, the appreciation is $159,000. $159,000 divided by the money that you put, you already got 100% return on investment in 1 year. Now let's look at a little bit of history of what happened from January to understand how COVID is affecting our real estate at this point in time in Toronto. One of the things that happened is none of us expected COVID to happen. But as a realtor, I always understand there would be challenging market, there would be boom period, there would be bust period, and most of the people that I'm working with are investors, because I am an investor myself, and I suggest and recommend things to clients on the lines that I invest. My investments are based on whether it's a good market or a bad market. We have to be safe, and it should be performing. It's just a matter of whether you are getting 50% return on investment in a good market, or even more like 100% now, or whether you are making 30% return on investment on a bad market. It's never a negative return on investment. Let me explain what happened in the market looking from January to now. Let's look at these figures. The historic figures are, we ended last year, which is 2019, with the average prices being established at 819,000 for the year 2019. Now, in January, we had a price increase of 8% year over year. And in February, we had a price increase of 17%, and the market was really heating up for 2020, and that was predicted to break all records. However, that's where COVID stuck. Lockdown started, realtors couldn't sell, people would not list homes, and life came into a standstill. However, in March, the prices went up to 15% over the previous year. This is where the real COVID effect happened. April 2020, the prices were established at 820,600, and these prices were 820,000 in the previous year. Now you see an appreciation of 0.08% year over year. What I'm trying to prove here is it was not a dime of a negative growth in April of 2020 compared to 2019, where there was no COVID. Now, in May, the prices appreciated by 3%. In June, the prices appreciated by 12%. In July, the prices appreciated by 17%. And holy Lord, in August, the prices appreciated by 20%. And now, up to now, when we compare the whole of the averages, now we are looking at 2019, we said it was established at 819,287. Now at this moment, our average price is at 912,000 cumulative up to date. So which is almost 11% price increase over last year. And that is basically about 95,000 over last year cumulative. Now, what is not being answered here is what's going to happen in the next 4 months. Friends, it's going to be more of the same. Now, what you do, if you're a first-time home buyer, then what you do in this market? Are you going to stay back and say, you know what, I'm not going to buy something now, I would buy in about 2 years' time because I don't have at least the 10% down payment, or still maybe even the 5%, because I have clients who are buying with 5% down payment these days. We had one transaction about 6 weeks ago, somebody buying a 479,000 house with a down payment of 24,000, which is awesome. So let me explain what people should be doing in a moment. Let me explain to you what this is, what impact it's going to have on first-time home buyers. When I speak to people, in fact, I'm working with 4 first-time home buyers right now. In fact, I have a showing this afternoon for someone. Their first question is, since I don't have the down payments, enough down payment, 20% or the 10%, I'm lower than that, should I wait for 1 more year and buy? I find it difficult to explain what they should be doing because of the circumstances. Now, for example, if somebody is buying a detached home or say, for example, average home, whatever, it's about 951,000 this year. Now, I know this house is going to appreciate, or the same average home is going to be at least 10% more by next year, which means it's going to be $950,000 more. So if this person were to buy with 10% down payment, which is 950,000 this year, it's better off them buying it, because if they say, I'm going to accumulate 20% and buy next year, my question is, your salary, your income is not appreciating by another 90,000. So my advice to them is, don't look at buying something for 900,000, look at buying something at 500,000. It's always better to buy today than paying 550,000 in a year's time. That being told, now let me explain to you what I mean by having an egg in my hand. So most of the first-time home buyers ask me about how to buy a first-time home and what to buy. And most of the first-time home buyers, I have an analog which I explain is, the best way to explain is, first-time home buyers, what I see when they get into my car and when they speak to me, they are out there to buy an egg. But what's important is when you buy from us, we operate as a team. When I say team, it's not a bunch of realtors who work as a team, but we are looking at a situation where myself and my son are the realtors. We got an able team of tax consultants, lawyers, mortgage brokers, and home inspectors. That's what I call a team, a winning team that can put a package through for you and help give you different options where you can work with and become a first-time home buyer sooner than you think of. So please speak to us. Now, the difference is this. When you're a first-time home buyer, you might be looking for an egg, but I'm not interested in selling or buying an egg for you. All you have to buy is you got to buy a fertile egg. The difference between a fertile egg and a non-fertile egg is the non-fertile egg is being used for consumption and is thrown away, or if you make omelets out of it. On the other hand, when you see a fertile egg, you're basically looking at owning a farm in the future. Let me explain it further. With God's grace, let me guarantee, if you were to buy a first-time home from me, I will assure you, within 5-year period, you will be a homeowner for at least 3 homes with no effort on your side, while your regular job and income would be the same. But still, you would be able to buy 2 more homes with this house. And let me try to explain in a moment how that happens with a true example of one of my clients. Let's say customer A in 2015 bought a house for 615,000. In 2019, this house is appraised at 1,050,000. The equity build up on this house is over 415,000. This individual in 2020, January, took 400,000 out of that house as equity and bought a condo for 400,000 under his daughter's name. Now the father and mother owns this property. They took equity out of the house and they bought a condo for 400,000 in the daughter's name. And as far as the daughter is concerned, it's a paid off property of 400,000, and then she have leased it out for 2,200, and with the lease they're paying off this line of credit of 400,000 that they took. Now at this point in time, we are looking out for the daughter, because what the daughter is doing is pulling out 80% of this, or 320,000 of this money as a line of credit, because this is a paid off home, and she is looking for a condo for 350,000. So now the scenario is, parents own a property for 1,050,000. The daughter owns a paid off house for 400,000 condo, and from that equity they are looking for the third property. By in about 2 weeks time we should have that bought. So in other words, this family are 3 home owners with just 1 home that they bought. This is what I mean by not having an unfertile egg in your hand, but of course moving into a fertile egg that will be considered as a farm. So speak to us, give us a call at 647-283-1966. Thank you very much for investing your time with us. Riyaz Rauf, a household name. Thank you.
Household name: Riyaz Rauf, Rushdie Rauf.